Wishes and greetings from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. Myself Manoj, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Department. In the last part, we have discussed about the conduction heat transfer, one-dimensional steady state in a plane wall. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the multi-layer or composite wall. In the previous part, we have discussed the combined conduction and convection characteristics of a plane wall. As previously discussed, in a plane wall, if both the convection and conduction taken place, this will be the relation, right? The Q, the heat rate, that is the heat transfer rate, is equal to the temperature difference divided by the resistance offered. As we know that for conduction, the rate of heat transfer Q is equal to Ka into T1 minus T2 divided by L. For the convective heat transfer, the value of Q is equal to HA into the temperature difference. This is Newton's law of cooling. For the plane wall, the resistance for the conduction is L by Ka. And for convection, the resistance R is equal to 1 by HA. Therefore, the overall heat transfer in a system is equal to delta T overall. That's the difference, the temperature, overall temperature difference divided by the summation of R, that is the total resistance of fed. Here the electrical analogy has described where the Q is equal to the initial temperature shown in the diagram is T infinity 1, that is the initial temperature through convection, and after the convection the final temperature is T infinity 2 divided by the summation of all the resistance value. Here we are having three different resistance. First one is a convective resistance, that is from this region through a fluid, and T2 will be the R2 will be the conduction in a plane wall, right? It's purely a conduction. And in case of the after TW2, that is after the T2 wall temperature, final wall temperature, this heat is taken away by the cold fluid. So therefore, there is a convection or conduction. Here we are discussing about the composite wall or multi-layer plane wall. Composite wall or the multi-layer wall, as the name represents, it should have more than one wall. If the wall is composed of two or more materials of different thermal conductivities arranged in series or else parallel, such a system is said to be a composite wall or a composite system or the multi-layer plane wall. Suppose if the two walls having the same thermal conductivity, it is considered as a single plane wall. So according to the thermal conductivity difference alone, the wall is considered as a composite wall. If both the walls having same thermal conductivity means it is considered as a plane wall alone. Therefore, composite wall is a wall which is composed of two or more plane walls of different thermal conductivities. It may arranged in parallel or series. In the diagram it has been shown which is arranged in series. Okay, let us consider there are two walls, wall number 1 and wall number 2. The heat flow direction has shown as Q. Here the initial stage T infinity 1 represents the heat source through any fluid medium, that is any fluid medium which delivers the heat to the wall. So therefore the T infinity to T1 which represents the convective heat transfer, because the heat is transferred through any fluid medium. Then from wall 1 the temperature T1 to T2, which is of pure conduction because it is in the solidic body due to its intermolecular forces. Due to the intermolecular vibration the heat is transferred, so it is a pure conduction. Then at valve 2, the temperature T2 to T3 it's gradually decreasing, just shown clearly. Here also a solidic element, a plain wall, a pure conduction taking place. After T3, this heat is taken away by the surrounding or atmospheric gases or any kind of fluids. It is considered as a convection heat transfer. So therefore, in this composite wall, there are two plane walls are composed, which gives two conduction heat transfer and two convection heat transfer. As order, the first heat transfer is a convection, the second is a conduction, third is also a conduction, and fourth is a convection heat transfer, where the H1 represents the convective heat transfer coefficient for the initial condition, the temperature T infinity 1 to T1. H2 will be the heat transfer coefficient of the with the range of temperature from T3 to T infinity 2, where K1 will be the thermal conductivity of valve 1, K2 be the thermal conductivity of valve 2. If both the thermal conductivities are same, we cannot consider this as a composite valve. So by correlating this phenomena with the electrical analogy, as we know all the heat transfer having some resistance. So in case of convection, we know that the resistance value is 1 by HA. In case of conduction, the resistance value is equal to L by Ka. First, we are considering the convection heat transfer. From T infinity to T1, there is some resistance offered, which restricts the flow of heat. So therefore, there is a R convection because the resistance offered while the convection heat transfer taking place. Therefore, the resistance is convective resistance is equal to 1 by H1A, since it is a first convection. We are having two convection and two conduction. So therefore, we are naming 1 and 2, the suffix. The next from T1 to T2, it is a pure conduction. As we know that the resistance R is equal to L by Ka. Here we have two conduction. Therefore, R1 is equal to R1 or R conduction 1 is equal to L1 by K1A. Since the area is same, therefore I am using the value A. If the area will not be a same value, we can use A1, A2, some variant. Then at valve 2, the temperature T2 to T3, there is a pure conduction. So therefore R2 is equal to L2 divided by K2A. After the second wall, after the wall number 2, some surrounding atmospheric gases or air exposed to the heat. The heat is exposed to the cold environment. Therefore, the convection heat transfer taken place. The resistance offered while the convection is equal to 1 by HA. So here, the overall heat transfer Q is equal to delta T, that is the temperature, overall temperature difference divided by the summation of all the resistance, sigma R or R total. R total is the summation of all the resistance in the specific element. So in this diagram, it has been shown there are two walls of different thermal conductivities. Therefore, we can assume it is a composite wall. The initially the heat is from the source of any fluid, by means of any fluids. Therefore, we are considering it as a convective heat transfer. So in this case, there are two convection and two conduction heat transfer taking place. Therefore, the resistance is four resistance, two conduction resistance and two convection resistance. Therefore, R total or summation of R is equal to R convection 1 plus R conduction 1 plus R conduction 2 plus R convection 2. Okay. So here this is a convection heat transfer, since we have used the R value R convection here. And in this region at valve 1, the conduction taking place, therefore R wall that is a conduction 1 because it is in the wall 1. Next at wall 2 there is a pure conduction from T2 to T3. We can consider this as wall R2 or R wall 2. After this T3 at this region there is a convection. Therefore R convection taking place. The initial temperature in the entire process is the T infinity 1, that is T infinity 1, that means the initial temperature and the final temperature T infinity 2. Therefore Q is equal to, you can write T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 divided by the summation of R. The summation of R is equal to R convection 1 plus R conduction 1 plus R conduction 2 plus R convection 2. As we know that the resistance value for convection is equal to 1 by HA. For the conduction, the resistance R is equal to L by Ka. Accordingly, we have substituted the thing in the equation. Thermal contact resistance. So in case of composite plain wall, sometimes the surface may not be smooth. When we are combining any two different elements together to make it as composite wall, sometimes the surface may be rough or coarse. So at that time we found some gap between the mating region as shown in the second diagram as shown here. The first diagram A, the perfect thermal contact. Therefore the surface roughness is very low. That means the surface is so smooth. When we are combining or composing two different thermal conductivity plane walls, the mating part will be exact. That is the ideal or perfect thermal contact. Why we have represent the word ideal? Moreover, most of the walls having a minor roughness, surface roughness. Therefore, the actual, that is imperfect thermal contact, every of the plane wall should have such a gaps due to its surface roughness. This diagram shows the difference between the perfect thermal contact and imperfect or actual thermal contact. So for this case, suppose for solving the problem, we are assuming the composite wall which is ideal or perfectly in thermal contact. But in case if the problem is given as the imperfect thermal contact or else actual thermal contact, we have to use this following equation. Q is equal to Q contact plus Q gap. Q is equal to H into A into delta T. There is a convection heat transfer, the Newton's law of cooling has considered. Hc represents H contact. A will be the area, delta T interface will be the temperature difference. Here look at here, the temperature difference as shown. Hc will be the thermal contact conductance. Hc is equal to Q by A divided by delta T, because we are rearranging this equation by considering the Hc value. By considering this Hc value, these by cross multiplication these elements comes this side. Therefore Hc is equal to Q divided by A into delta T. Unit is watts per meter square degree centigrade. So in the diagram, it is shown, the interface as shown. In the first diagram, it is a perfect mating. That is a perfect thermal contact. There is no gap is present. It is ideal. The temperature distribution is from T1 to T2 is normal, and after that it is of normal thing. But in case of imperfect thermal contact, there is a temperature drop occurs in the gap itself. So look at the comparison. In a normal one, the perfect thermal contact, the temperature is gradually decreasing. As per the Fourier's law of conduction, the temperature is gradually decreasing in the layer 1. Afterwards, it is continually gradually decreasing from the layer 2, in the layer 2. But in case of this thing, in the case of the imperfect one, the heat transfer occurs in layer 1 and layer 2. The temperature drop occurs in first layer, second layer, as well as in the gap by the surface roughness. How to remember this point? In case of perfect thermal contact, the temperature drop will occur in first layer and second layer only, in case of the diagram shown. In case of actual or imperfect thermal contact, the heat drop occurs in layer 1, layer 2, and also occurs in the gap. Right? Therefore, the resistance is equal to resistance C, that is contact resistance, is equal to 1 by Hc. Hc we have derived here. Instead of Hc, we are applying this value, delta T interface divided by Q by A. This is the formula for finding the contact resistance or thermal contact resistance in case of the gap present between the surface or in interface. Thermal contact resistance is the inverse of thermal contact conduction. This thermal contact resistance depends on the surface roughness to a great extent. If the surface roughness is high, the gap between the interface is also high. Since if the material surface is so smooth while making the composite wall, the gap between the interference or the mating area, the gap will be less. Therefore, the surface roughness is directly influence the thermal contact resistance. If the surface is too rough or coarse, the gap between the two layers are high. Therefore, the more gap will be in the interface. And then material property. The thermal conductivity depends strongly on moisture and the temperature variation and the structure of the material. Suppose considering the porous material, the void fraction and the pore structure and the distribution, which affects the thermal conductivity significantly. As we know, if the thermal conductivity may vary according to the temperature variation or else due to the moisture, which affects the entire material property, which leads to change in the surface roughness. Then the temperature and pressure at interface. The pressure holding the two surfaces together also influences the contact resistance. If the pressure if the pressure outside the surface, that is the holding surface is high, the pressure at the holding surface is high, there will be a small gap. If the pressure at the interface is low, it is observed that the gap will be higher, and the type of fluid trapped at interface. So the kind of fluid trapping at the interface. So these are all the causes for the thermal contact resistance. In the next part, we can discuss about the series and parallel composite wall and its related problems. Thank you.